as we're like getting into the like nitty gritty of the pre-light, Miley's like, don't you think we need to adopt a dog?
Don't even get me started. Like, I like
Mom.
dogs are cute, but this was not a
Mom.
Welcome to Sorry We're Cyrus.
Sorry, we're stoned. Sorry, we're sober.
Well, here's the thing. Sorry, we're not stoned. It's more like
right.
it.
Right.
But
We could
anyway.
have changed it to that.
I know.
Sorry, we're not stoned.
Yes. Are you smoking these days?
You know, I'll take a little hit here and there once in like a blue moon, but no, not the way that I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all having a grow up.
We're all having a little What happened with yours?
Mine was not. Mine was not by choice. Mine just actually happened on a vacay where I couldn't
Oh.
have weed.
Oh.
And we've been telling the stoners about it. I was on vacation without it, started having anxiety. And then when I
Right.
tried to smoke again, had worse anxiety.
Oh, no.
And so I haven't been able to smoke since. It's so crazy.
No.
Yeah.
How long's that been now?
7 months.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
almost
Wow.
a year.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
know.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
MT was like my, like when
She's
I
the
thought.
stoner queen.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I miss it so much,
Oh.
but maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
smoking weed ever make you anxious?
At one point it did.
Mm.
I remember being on a flight with MT
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were going somewhere and I'd stopped like actually smoking, but I thought I'll try those little droppers. So I went to the place, the dispensary, and I got the droppers. And usually they had this blue bottle of whatever. And this time they were out and they were like, we only have the red. And I was like, oh,
geez.
that should be fine. So I like then I was like, I barely ever feel it. Like I have such a high tolerance. And then I took a few on the flight.
I remember this.
A couple drops, and oh my gosh, I like went into a different dimension. And I was in one of those like first class pods all by myself. And like the movie I was watching like was going from like 3D to 4D to 2D. And I had been like in my head like 6 hours, but then I looked at the time on the movie and it had only been like 6 minutes. And I was like,
I hate
oh
when
my
that
God.
happens.
Yikes.
So after that, I was like, okay, I don't know if I could do this anymore. So I stopped.
But I feel like you had another kind of bad experience, didn't you? And you like were shaking and like
Oh, yes. So then that was the flight. And then maybe like a year later or once in a while, I'd have like a little joint or a little hit and it would give me that like reaction. And so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then I was at home by myself and me and Brad had just broke up. And so I was like, okay, what do I do? Like all in my head and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to take a little CBD droppers just to like relax. And I got some from this like MC like thing she had, a 420 party or something. I was like, oh, these seem good. So I got the little CBD droppers and I don't know what was in there.
it was CBD.
It was, I
Had to be
think it was,
THC too, right?
I think it was THC with CBD
Yeah.
combo,
okay.
but I didn't know. So I took it and it started giving me that anxiety, like that same like feeling
Yes.
on the plane. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? So I looked up online and this was probably the worst thing ever.
yeah.
And it was like, take just pure CBD and it'll like help, it'll dilute, it'll make it less. I don't know if so then I had another bottle from the same party of just pure CBD. And so I thought I read through all the things. There was some other thing called CBN or something. And I was like, okay, this is like the closest. It should be fine. It doesn't seem like THC in there. I don't know. I took a dropper of that and I was shaking, freaking, panicking. It was crazy. And then that was kind of like when I like really was
You're like,
like,
I'm
okay,
done.
never again, never again. And that was a couple years ago. And then I really never touched it again. But every once in a while, like I'll be with MC or something or here or there and I'll just like do one little puff and it'll just get me good for like a couple hours and I'll be good. And
Yeah.
then that's it. And I don't really need any more than that.
Oh.
But
I know.
See,
Yeah.
you never have these stories if you just never start smoking
That's
weed.
true.
Well,
Do we need to do a proper intro?
We do. Yeah, I was going to circle back.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
circle
I was
back.
gonna circle back.
Let's circle back.
Well, let's introduce the stoners to Vijit. I feel like you should do the honors.
Well, I mean, I don't even know how to introduce Fidget
you're
because
so cute.
how long have we known each other?
It must be like since 2009, maybe?
A long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
So when we met, Vijit actually was doing wardrobe for Miley.
Yes.
Right?
That's so crazy.
I
Yeah.
know.
That is, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he worked with Simone
Simone.
Harouche.
Yes.
And assisted her and went on the road with us for years doing wardrobe. And then his actual passion was photography.
Yep.
And so he started doing photography and shooting Miley for so many things
Yep.
and kind of just became her photographer.
Yes.
And has shot her for so many things, and now is one of the biggest photographers out there.
You're
Mhm.
Shoots
everything,
everyone.
MT. You are so cute.
Wait, so I mean, is that the best way to describe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just the best.
You are everything. Well, it really wouldn't have happened without you because I remember when we were on one of the tours, I had never photographed MC yet. I had just been doing my own pictures on the sides. And I remember I did a photo shoot with Kim K and I showed you, I think we were in Spain, and I showed you the pictures and you were like, oh my God, these are incredible.
Classic Tish.
Classic MT. And then you were like, you should shoot MC. And I was like, oh my God, that would be such a dream. She was like everything to me. And I was just so obsessed. And then you helped facilitate that. And then she was down and it worked out. And then we got to do the photos for the South America tour.
Yeah,
and,
you did all those.
and then go on the whole tour, which I'd never experienced anything like that before. So it was just everything. And I always like think about you helping me get there. And so you're always in my heart.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
It's too cute.
Yeah, I do remember it because I was just like, you need to do what you really love.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so he started shooting the tour, and then everywhere we would go, then Miley, she's like, let's do a photo shoot. And
Yeah.
so then there would be just shoots going on all the time.
Love.
Yeah.
So funny.
Love
So aside from
it.
Miley, who was one of the first celebs you shot? Was it Kim?
The first one I ever shot was Kim, which was so cool. I mean, she's the cutest. Actually, just did a shoot with her last night too, and I was gagged. She's everything. But yeah, I've shot Paris Hilton a bunch, who I absolutely adore. Nicole
Love.
Richie, she's so cute. So many other people, amazing people. Gwen Stefani, and I love working with musicians like Doja Cat, and I love people that are creatives in their own right because they bring so much energy and ideas to the shoot and what we're doing, and it really enhances even my creative vision. So I just love the music industry, the music artists out there that I get to work with. They're everything.
I love Doja.
Oh, I love her.
She's so cool.
Iconic.
But you've also shot Selena.
Oh yeah.
Who else? Rihanna?
Rihanna,
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B,
Yep.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Sickening.
Killing it.
Yes, we are.
I love
it's
it.
so cool.
Yeah. No, I love photography more than anything in the whole world. It is my dream. It's my passion. It is my favorite thing ever, ever, ever.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like Vij has a very like specific, unique style too.
He does.
Like your photos are very like bold, usually a lot of color.
Yeah.
How did you kind of like find your niche in photography?
Yeah. I love colorful, punchy, like in your face kind of photos. And I think that stemmed from me being really into David LaChapelle when I was younger. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, like kind of outside the city. And back then, growing up, there wasn't a lot like going on in that part of the world. And so I would kind of like find these amazing magazines and spreads that he would do for like Rolling Stone magazine. And I was just so obsessed like with how beautiful and crazy and different it could be. And so I started trying to do something in that world. But I wanted to create my own style too. So after kind of like studying photography and working with a lot of different photographers, I develop my own style. I was like, I like this from this type of photographer. I like this from another type of photographer. I knew I wanted to shoot celebrity. So I love doing advertising as well. So I kind of brought all of these different kind of dynamics and elements into my work and kind of like found this like sweet spot of where it all collided. And that's kind of how I created my own little style.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah. Do you have any like rituals or anything you do before each shoot?
I do a lot of research. Like if I'm going to shoot someone new that I haven't shot before, or I know of them like in the media, but I've never really like listened to their music or seen them on TV or whatever it is, I'll like do a deep dive and kind of like find out all kinds of interesting little things. Like I remember when I shot Nicki Minaj, she's like she's my queen of all queens. I just absolutely love her. I like went and found out like what's her favorite foods so we could like have that on set.
Nice.
And she like loved Hello Kitty, and so I got like all this Hello Kitty stuff for her dressing room and the type of flowers she likes and stuff like that. And
That's so
so
cute.
I like get everyone kind of like in a little vibe. So when they get there, they're like, "Oh, I love this. I love
That's
that." And then
awesome.
they're in like a good mindset to kind of do the shoot.
Yeah, that's cool. Something I feel like I like asking anybody that's an artist is like, how do you keep your work fresh and how do you keep evolving, but still keep like your signature thing and aesthetic?
I think my work kind of naturally has evolved because, like I was saying, when you work with artists, which is my favorite thing because they bring so much creativity to it, it really pushes me outside of kind of what I'm used to and what I like thought I loved. There's other like elements, ideas, motifs, things that I didn't know that I actually like loved that much until I did it with an artist that was like, "Oh, I love this type of thing or this background or this color or this whatever it may be." And then I'm like, I don't know about that, but then I'll do it. And then I'm like, wow, that turned out so good. That was amazing. And then I'll kind of like, now I really like that. So I'll incorporate that into my next kind of like project I'm
Mm,
doing. And so
That's cool because it seems like then some of those artists push you out of your comfort zone, and
yeah,
then you kind of progressively
yeah.
yeah,
change in some ways as well.
Like
right.
it kind of like I feel like it could be similar to like when we did our design show.
Yes.
There were a couple of things where like the homeowner really wanted something specific that like she hated.
Oh, yeah.
Like they'd be like, I really want this color in
And
the
I'd be
kitchen or
like,
something, and she would not want to do it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've really not wanted to do that you've actually ended up loving and been glad that you were game to do?
There was definitely like a time where I was very set on like colors that I would like to shoot in. And I was always like, I don't know if you guys remember when I did my photography show in 2016, it was all like red, yellow,
Yes.
blue. And I was very like into these like specific like primary colors. But after doing that and having that whole show and getting it out in the world, I was at that place where I was like, what do I do next? And then I was like, what if I pastel it down a little bit and do like a pink or a baby blue or a version of it? So I started kind of bringing in other colors like that. But I used to be very like, if there's another color besides red, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But
And some of my favorites of yours are the more pastels.
oh, thank
I love the ones
you.
of Nicole. Isn't it kind of like a peachy?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
God, I love those pictures of
Yeah.
Nicole. She's
That
so
was
cute.
another one where I had never really shot orange that much
Uh-huh.
either because it was just like, I don't know. I kind of work in this primary world of colors. Even like when you pastel the red, it becomes pink, or the blue, it becomes baby blue. But
Uh-huh.
I'd never really done like the secondary colors, I guess they call it,
Interesting, yeah.
the green and the orange and the purple. So I did the first shoot with Nicole. That was an all orange shoot.
Loved it.
And she just looked absolutely amazing. She is so gorgeous to begin with, but
Gorgeous.
she just embodied that whole vibe of like that. I feel like orange is such a 70s kind of tone and
Yes.
vibe, and
Mhm.
she has that aesthetic in her own way. So I feel like it was a really good combination.
Yeah, we'll have to put some of those pictures up. They were so good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll like paste them in for sure.
Yes.
Love.
Well, obviously you've worked with a ton of big names. We mentioned a few. What's been your most memorable photo shoot so far?
Included with the big names, I've also shot Tish Cyrus and Brandi Cyrus. So let's not forget.
Don't
Let's
forget
don't.
But you said who are the most memorable?
Yeah, what's the most memorable shoot you've ever done for you?
Oh man, that's such a hard one because there's so many
Yeah.
different like life-changing moments. I mean, MC is definitely one of them. I mean, so many of them. I feel like Miley's just been so amazing and supportive and helped me open so many like doors, not only in the world but also like in my own self with what I was doing. So she's definitely like a big one for me. And I kind of like can think of my like career in these different moments of where I've got to do different things with her.
Yeah.
So she's definitely like a big one for me. But I mean, Kim being the first celebrity I ever got to shoot was like so amazing. And looking back on it way back then in like 2008 or 9 when I did that, I was like, I never knew like what I had. And that was just such a moment too. That was so memorable. Of course, shooting Nicki Minaj for the first time, just because I'm such a fangirl of her, but she is just amazing too. And man, I mean, every single person, I really feel like there's different moments that are memorable with everyone I've shot.
Yeah. Were any of the moments like moments where you were like, "Holy shit, like I've made it"? Was there a moment, like even early on, where you were like, "Holy shit, like I'm doing it"?
I don't know if I've got there yet.
Yeah. That's a
Bitches.
good
I feel
answer.
like-
No, I mean, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from the outside, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's like what my parents put on me when I was younger, like being like these like strict Indian parents and kind of like, which is amazing because they really push me to do more. But I kind of have that within myself where I'm always like trying to push myself to do more. And as much as it's incredible and I feel so honored and grateful for all these amazing people I've got to work with and had in front of my camera, I still feel like there's so much work to be done for me to get where I want to go. But I
Mm.
feel like that's maybe just the way it is. Like your bar is always moving through life
Yeah, I
as
think it
you're
should be, right?
accomplishing.
So that you're always growing.
And
Yeah.
honestly, he shot the one and only Pamela Anderson
Oh my
multiple
gosh.
times.
She is so cool.
Oh, she's the best.
What a dream.
Yeah. So like I have so many memories with Vidge too. Like we were at David LaChapelle's
Yeah.
as he was shooting Pam.
Yes.
And that was so much fun.
That was so amazing. That was
Yeah.
was that the first time you had like kind of met her or?
No, I had met her before and I can't remember. I'd met her a couple times before.
Okay.
Once at the show Miley, the not Flaming Lips, the Dead Pets tour.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She'd
Yeah.
done that. And then I'd also met her at a charity event with Noah.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So then when you called me and I
Yeah.
came to the David LaChapelle shoot, I had, got to hang with her then.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I just
so
feel like MT and Pam
Oh my
should just be best friends because they are.
forever.
Yes.
I love her so much. And then I went to see her in Chicago and I got to hang out with her
Oh,
there for a bit. So,
amazing.
but yeah, the David LaChapelle shoot was so much fun.
Oh, what an iconic moment.
It really was.
I remember I was like so beside myself because he's like my dream photographer. I just literally think he is the best thing ever. And I was so lucky I got to assist him and work in his studio. And I was kind of like an intern for him / like assisting on set for different photo shoots and stuff. And my friend Sharon Gall
Yes.
got me into his studio, into his world and everything, which was like such a dream come true. And when that Pamela Anderson shoot came up, I was like, I have to call Tish. Like, I have to get her down here because this is so cool. And then you came and it was like, oh my God, that's another memorable night that I'll like literally
It
never
was
forget.
Such a fun night. Me
Yeah.
too. It was so good.
Hey guys, so bummer. As you know, as we age, our body's natural healing and building processes really slow down. I can attest to that. And it's totally normal, but that doesn't mean there's nothing we can do about it. I have used collagen for a very long time in my coffee, and I have just tried the Ancient Nutrition brand, and I am loving it. I really do feel like collagen is so great for your hair, skin, and nails, but it also can help you have less joint soreness, and it really does just help repair your body. So I don't do a lot of supplements, but collagen is one I do all the time, and I am loving Ancient Nutrition. For a long time, people have been trying to find the fountain of youth, newsflash. No one's found that yet, but I do think collagen is something that truly can help. Ancient Nutrition's mission is to create high quality supplements that combine the best of ancient wisdom and modern science. So, right now, Ancient Nutrition is offering 25% off your first order when you go to ancientnutrition.com/Cyrus. That's ancientnutrition.com/Cyrus for 25% off your first order. ancientnutrition.com/Cyrus. Hey guys, so super stoked to tell you guys about the I Restore Illumina face mask. I got mine right before Christmas and it felt like a Christmas gift to myself, and I could not love it more. I've just been using it a short time, but I swear I do really feel like my skin has more of a glow to it. Everybody's talking about infrared light. So I was super stoked to know that this was infrared light that actually is supposed to make you happier too. So honestly, I feel like my skin has a different kind of a glow to it. And, in the winter months when it's colder outside, I'm in Nashville right now, your skin tends to get drier and just duller. And I feel like my face has really changed and it's not dry at all. I'm using it like 3 to 5 times a week for 10 minutes, and it's so comfortable and it's not heavy at all. So you can walk around, you can watch TV. I take a bath in mine. Like, I just use it all the time and am so in love with it. So if you want to give yourself a late Christmas gift, which would be amazing, now's the time to treat yourself. For a limited time only, our listeners get $205 off their Illumina face mask with the code Cyrus at irestorelaser.com. That's $205 off the Illumina face mask with code Cyrus at irestorelaser.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Unlock your best skin with iRestore. I promise you are going to love.
Who are some celebs you haven't worked with yet that's like on your dream list?
Ooh, okay. I really would love to work with Ariana Grande.
Ooh, yeah.
She's so gorgeous and
Beautiful.
so cute, and I would just do anything. I want to shoot Naomi Campbell more than anything too. I
Good one.
absolutely love her. I would love to work with Sabrina Carpenter.
She's so cute.
Such a cute. She's so
perfect for your
powder room,
aesthetic too.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I would do anything. She is so cute.
Okay, we're gonna put that out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like that can happen pretty easy.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are some. I've worked with Lady Gaga before, who's everything. I would love to work with her more. She is so cool. I shot a campaign for her House Labs makeup line,
Oh yeah.
and it came out just so stunning. We had shot it at her house, and it was just this quick little shoot, but the pictures were just unreal. And that was another like moment that I'll just never forget. She is so cool. But so I would love to work with her more. But
More Gaga, yeah. Those are good ones.
Love Gaga.
yeah,
We
definitely.
kind of talked about this a little bit before we started rolling,
Yeah.
but how has social media changed your world and impacted your work? And how do you grow with, the ever evolving world of social media and how that plays into entertainment?
Yeah, that's a really good one. It's something I feel like a lot of photographers like are always kind of facing and dealing with. I started kind of like at the beginning when social media started, because like I was growing up before social media ever even existed. But I started kind of like getting really into it when Instagram first came out, and
Mhm.
on that kind of level,
Yeah.
not really like the MySpace or the Facebook stuff. But I was so obsessed with it at first because there was so much inspiration that was there.
For sure.
People posting all these things you never seen before, and it was all these like still images that were curated from all kinds of different places in one place, and it was just a never-ending cycle of inspiration images that really influenced a lot of my early work. Like when I was shooting back then, I would always have pictures from there on mood boards and references, and it was everything. I still love it, and I just think it's like changed a little bit where it's given like in a good way, it's given a lot of photographers the ability to be seen by a large audience, which is really great. And I feel like little artists that didn't have that kind of platform before were able to thrive and become bigger and grow. And so I think in a lot of ways it's really positive. But I also think it kind of stole a little bit of like magic that was in pictures that or videos that people create,
Mm.
because I love like putting all this like not work, but like just all of these different elements into a photo shoot. I love like sets, I love lighting, I love hair, makeup, wardrobe. I love creating like a fantasy. And I feel like so with social media, all of that work just gets drawn down into like one piece of content,
Mhm.
and it turns like something that was like a piece of art into a piece of content, and then it's like disposable, so it goes
sure.
away
Yeah.
as quick as it came. And for doing stuff where you're like on your phone and you're creating stuff to kind of like, it's more about quantity and you're just kind of like making people aware, I think that it works great for that. But
Mm.
when you're like putting all this time and effort and you're really trying to say something from your heart in your images, in your work, like artists, like a true artist is doing, then I feel like it kind of steals away the magic that was meant to be in there.
I
For
could
sure.
totally
So,
see that.
That's kind of where I am with it.
Yeah.
I know. Pros and cons for sure to social media.
Yeah.
What's a major lesson you've learned as you've grown in the industry?
A big one is that you never know like who you could be like around or
Mm.
working with or something. Sometimes you know, I've been around people who are like, they're too good for this person or that person, and then the next day that person is all of a sudden their boss, or they're shooting them,
Totally.
or vice versa. And it's like an intern that all of a sudden turns into like the big director of
Oh, yeah.
the set, and then the person that they were interning for is like working under them. And so it's always great to be respectful
Mm.
and just really give people the respect they deserve, and never think you're too cool for anything, because you never know when it'll change. Like the tables are just always turning. So
It's so
Yeah.
true.
that's a big lesson
That
that,
is
Yeah.
I've
true.
learned.
Do you have any exciting projects or shifts in your style that you're exploring?
Ooh, yes, I am currently working on putting a new book together that I am so excited about. So this year's been a little bit kind of hectic. There's a lot like in the entertainment industry, a lot of like things with, I think, the big studios and stuff have kind of like had a trickle down effect where there isn't as much work going around for photographers. A lot of like rates are being cut, or they're like
Mm.
jamming a lot of clients are jamming a lot of like, they want photo and video and all this stuff in one. And it's just getting even more competitive than it was before.
Mm.
So I was kind of like, what could I do with this like extra, not like extra time, but like what could I do to kind of just like still make me happy and fulfill that like love of photography I have.
Yeah.
So I started setting up some of my own shoots, which I used to do a lot of. And that's how I did my show and my first book and everything like that. But this time I was like, let me kind of take all of the stuff I've learned in the last like 5 to 10 years from being a professional advertising celebrity photographer and put it into my craft and develop new work that is like on this new page, on this new level. So I've been doing these shoots for just myself, just for my soul, basically. And I am absolutely obsessed with how they're coming out. They look so cool. They just make me so happy. And if nothing else, they just like really just fulfill like what I feel like is like my purpose in life. So I've been doing that. And then in doing so, I've created this collection of images that I just think are beautiful and I want to share with people. So I want to
So that's the book.
do some more, create a new book. And that's definitely one big project I'm working on. And then I have my studio,
Yes.
which is another project I've been working on. And you guys Tish has been there.
I've been there.
You've
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, it's
you still have
amazing. I
to
gotta
come
come see it,
down.
yeah.
Yes.
It's so cool.
It's so cute. It is such a dream to have a studio as a photographer. It's like something I've always wanted. But I finally made it a reality this past January. I have like like a 5,000 square foot space in downtown LA Arts District that I split up into 12 different standing sets that people can come kind of use as is, or they can kind of amplify it and bring in set designers, props, things, and kind of modify it to however fits their creative vision. And I really did it because I wanted to help young creatives that want to do something cool but may not have the budget to like build
Right.
out an entire set or get all of these different elements together. Like for music videos or brand campaigns or any sort of, even like I have like cool TikTokers and Instagrammers coming through and they just love having cool backgrounds for different stuff they're doing. It makes it look more eye-catching and creative. And so in the big picture, it's helping people, which I love.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Genius.
It's
Honestly.
amazing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's very veg.
Yes.
Love that.
Well, one of the ideas was during the last like 5-10 years of shooting, I'm doing all these amazing shoots with these incredibly talented set builders, and we put together these enormous, gorgeous sets. And then after the shoot, you rip it all down and get rid of it. And I was like, oh my God, I love the windows from this one, or I love the bed from that one, or the this and that from each shoot. And I was like, I don't want to get rid of all this stuff. So I started taking my favorite parts of these different sets and saving them.
Yep.
And then I had them all in these storage units. And one day I was like getting stuff out for a specific shoot, and it was all the way, like elements I needed were all the way in the back of the storage unit. So when I pulled everything out to get back there, I like turned around and I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, all of this stuff looks so cool together. And it's so like a veg aesthetic. It's
It
like
is.
all kind of has this own little vibe. So I was like, what if I put it together in a place where it could get its life? Like people could actually like use it, see it. It could be in other people's photos. Like I've shot it already. Like it's gotten its life with me, but it has so much more to go. So I thought like if I put it together in a space where people could utilize it, and I'd love to see what their version of it is. Like I know how I would shoot that specific prop or window or set piece or whatever it may be, but I'd love to see like how other creatives see it. And it's been really amazing and inspiring seeing other people create with what I've put together.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I just want to circle back because I loved what you said about spending time to shoot for you, right? And doing something, stuff that makes you happy. I feel like the dream for everybody, right, is to be able to work doing what you love.
Right.
Like that's always the pipe dream.
Yeah.
But then somewhere along the line, there's this fine line of like, I used to do this because I loved it, and now I do it to make money. And sometimes that like blurs, the line.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's so important to like remind yourself like, oh, I do this because I love it, and make sure you're doing stuff for you. I feel like that's such great advice for anybody that's a creative.
Yeah.
Like even like when I'm DJing sometimes, like there's a lot of songs that I play that aren't my favorite, but I know people love them.
Right.
And so like for me, when I'm like doing my sets, I'll be like, yeah, a couple for them and then one for me. Like I'm always like throwing in a song here and there where I'm like, this one's for me because I like it.
It's important.
And I do think it's important that way. Like you're constantly staying, like passionate about what you're doing.
Exactly.
So I just liked that. I thought that was good advice.
Yeah.
On the topic of advice, what advice would you give to aspiring photographers, especially now, like you said, where, it's almost like stiffer competition and not as much work?
Yeah.
What would you tell to anybody like coming up in the industry?
So one of the pieces of advice I was given when I was at Art Center, which is the design school I went to study photography, a teacher had told me, always shoot what you love, because that's what you're going to be the most passionate about, and that's where your success is going to come from. And to this day, it still like lives on in my head. I always think about that, especially when I'm like kind of stuck or thinking like, what do I do in a certain situation, especially with the work stuff and everything like that. But I would say definitely shoot what you love, because that is where the passion is. That's what you're going to work the hardest on. That's what's going to fulfill you. That's what's going to make you happy. And that type of thing really leads to success. It's if you're trying to do something that isn't really what you're meant to do, then you're not going to be excited about it. You're not going to put your 100% into it. And it's really not going to take you as far as something that you are passionate about.
Yeah, that's so true.
Very
I feel
true.
like that applies to like a lot of different things too.
Totally. Yes.
Should we play a little game?
We should.
Yes.
Tish's favorite part of the episode.
It's called What's the Tea?
What's the tea? I love it.
You're going to say Miley, but you don't have to. Who's the most fun celeb you've shot with?
I'm going to say Miley. No. No, she's definitely, I feel like because I have like the closest relationship with her,
Yes.
there's fun on so many levels. There's like the fun on a shoot. There's
That's
fun
true.
in life.
That's
there's
true.
fun on like a road trip. I don't know. There's so
Yeah.
many different layers of fun, but can I give you one fun moment with her that I like, that I
Yes.
just am obsessed with?
Yes, please.
So, during the pandemic or like right around the end of that or something, we were filming the Midnight Sky music
Yeah.
video. And I was helping her with all of that. And we had all of this stuff going on. It was like a huge budget music video, stages.
It was crazy.
We had like, lighting. We had different sets, just so much going on.
Animals.
Oh,
It was
geez.
incredible.
Well,
It was
like
they were like these big
Plastic.
prop
Yeah.
animals that were painted for the
Yes.
gods. Like it was incredible. It was just unbelievable. So in the middle of all of this happening, and Miley was directing the video, which was just unbelievably amazing. But she was also kind of like learning as she was going through the whole thing, and I was kind of helping her with different parts of it. And it came to the part where they were doing the pre-light. So everything was getting set, and that is like the most important part where you just need to make sure that every single thing is dialed in so that when you come back on the next day, on the actual shoot day, you just like go through
Ready
it.
to go.
And it was like a packed schedule. There were so many scenes, there were so many shots. So right as we're like getting into the like nitty-gritty of the pre-light, Miley's like, "Don't you think we need to adopt a dog?"
Don't even get me started.
And of course, I love to just like egg that on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you really do. That dog was my worst freaking nightmare.
Which one
Oh
was
my
it?
gosh.
Ziggy.
Kate Moss.
Kate Moss.
Oh,
That's
Kate
what I thought.
Moss.
Kate Moss.
That's right.
That's what I
Kate
was thinking.
Moss.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we have a picture of her?
Oh,
Because
Oh, I'm sure we can find one to
We need
paste
to find a
in.
picture of Kate Moss.
Yeah, definitely.
it was not okay.
It was
Mom.
not okay.
It was not
She
okay.
like went in the middle of the pre-light to this animal shelter where she found like the most handicapped,
She did.
most
Unattractive.
like unattractive, smelled like
I mean, it was
unreal.
None of it
It
was okay.
yeah.
None of
And
it was okay.
Came back. So then we spent half the day doing this adoption of this like poor little handicapped dog.
Yes.
And by little I mean huge. It was big.
A
She a big
huge-
girl, yeah.
I don't even know what type of dog.
She was
was
some
but
sort of bulldog
it
or
was a
it was
something.
some kind of bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like all dogs are cute, but this was not okay. It was just not okay. Especially from behind. It was not
Oh
okay.
my God. And then it would have like little bathroom problems where it would
Yeah.
just like go just number 2 in the middle of the
Like,
set.
Big number twos.
Yeah, and it
big
was
number twos.
stinky and smelly
I
and
love it.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
it-
like everyone, like these amazing like hair and makeup people
was
that are all like so
crazy.
glam and just
Oh,
like
yeah.
so they were like dealing with
They
this
were like, "Oh,
dog.
God."
It was so. It honestly, it makes me go like, just like when I even think about
That
it.
Yep.
is too good.
It's very that. So then we did that, and then the next day we get to the shoot and everything is wrong. Like the lighting's not right, this is wrong, like the timing's off. And I'm like, she was like, maybe we shouldn't have gone and adopted a dog during the most important part of the entire
Exactly.
production.
Yeah.
So
But we were dealing the whole time.
yeah.
Thank God she decided it was a foster.
Yeah, thank
Mhm.
goodness.
It was a
Yeah,
foster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the dog, but yeah. So
Oh my
yeah, that was
God.
that was a
Insane.
good moment.
Literally
Yeah.
nuts.
Kate Moss.
Yeah.
Well, that one could qualify, but have you ever had a shoot go completely off the rails?
Trying to think when I was younger if I had anything crazy.
Like anything that was a total disaster.
You know, like from working with a lot of big photographers when I was younger and interning and assisting, I learned that like you really have to adapt to whatever happens. And so much of a photo shoot or of film production is about psychology and kind of maintaining a certain like vibe for everybody on set.
Absolutely.
So even when things do go wrong, you just have to like
Keep
immediately,
calm.
just flip a switch and be like,
Uh-huh.
okay, we're gonna do this now. Maybe that worked out for the better, and kind of just navigate everyone into that same thought process so that nobody's freaking and nothing crazy is happening. I mean, I've had shoots that like run super late, or we're in the middle of the night kind of shooting, like I did with Mariah Carey, who is everything. But I mean, it's just so fun. I haven't really had
Nothing
anything too
horrible.
crazy or negative. I'm sure things have happened, but you just have to really learn how to
Roll with it.
control it. Yeah, roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be a Miley answer too. What
Ooh.
is the strangest or funniest prop you've ever used? I can
Ooh.
think of a few.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
But maybe it was a video shoot that I'm thinking
Oh.
of.
What was
All
the
I
one you were
know is,
thinking of?
well, when I have a picture of me holding Miley, and I think she's in a diaper, and I'm feeding her a bottle, and she's
yeah.
in her
Oh,
late 20s. What was that baby
The
talk?
giant
Baby
baby
talk.
bottle that we
Uh-huh.
found on Craigslist.
yeah.
That was
So,
a good one.
that was a good one. Yeah.
I love doing. I have like very like certain props that are very my aesthetic. I always love to shoot things that are like cakes or pastries or
yes.
sweets, ice cream, things that are melting. I love stuff like that. I love florals. I love anything vintage, but crazy. I think it's probably anything crazy was probably with MC.
Yeah.
For sure.
That tracks.
I think during that era
Oh,
specifically,
yeah.
I know.
there were some strange things happening.
That's so funny.
Definitely.
Are there any celebrities you've shot that you thought would be difficult to work with, but they totally surprised you?
I mean, I've heard certain things about definitely different celebrities I've worked with being like, this is going to be difficult. This person is notorious for XYZ. But, it's just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my love for photography and filmmaking and my passion or whatever. But when I get on a set, I just like takes everyone's mentality and I just swoop it together and I get them into it and I make them feel sickening and stunning and gorgeous and just living the whole
You
way
do.
through.
Yeah.
So
You make it very fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like half of my favorite part of it. Like I love the image making part of it, but I love seeing people feel their best, feel their oats, like feel it in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I love when they like feel like the best version of themselves. And I love like being able to capture that moment. And so I'm sure there's definitely people that are difficult to work with that I've worked with, but I've really just kind of like ran right over any of that and went straight into like having the best time ever with them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Genius. All right, last one. What's a trend in photography that you secretly wish would go away?
Ooh, okay. This one
Mm.
is very, I am so not into like, okay, this is like everybody right now, but basically I'm just so not into like film, grainy, like that kind of stuff. I just think it's like an easy cop out. Like, I know the picture is going to look sickening if you use a Polaroid camera. Like
Totally.
Andy Warhol discovered that. Like we know that. Like we know you don't have to do anything besides have like a hot girl or a hot boy in front of a Polaroid and you're gonna get, I mean, they don't even have to be hot. They could just be anything. It's
That's
still
true.
gonna look sickening.
It's so
Literally,
true.
that's
Yeah.
exactly like I have a little it's a digital camera, but it looks
Yeah.
like film. And I'm like,
Yeah.
please take it with this because I know it'll look good no matter what.
Right.
Like if I
yeah.
look like shit, it's
It's
fine.
true.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The camera will make me look good.
It is true.
But yeah, it is. You're right. Like it's like easier.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
from I guess from the person being photographed side, like of course that's great. Like they're gonna look
Sure.
great because
But if you're doing your job right, they're gonna look great anyway, right?
right. That's what I
I
just
never
feel
thought
like
about that.
Yeah.
it's a bit of a
Well, yeah, that's why,
cop-out.
like, when I take my friends out with me and I know they can't take a photo to save their freaking lives, I'm
Yeah.
like, here, use this camera.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
even though you guys are shit, like,
you
it's
know
gonna be
it's gonna
okay.
come out good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if, like, when you're on a shoot, like, it's the photographer's job to make you look your best, right? So it's like, if Vijat's doing his job right, like, then
It's gonna look gorge.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah. I just get a little like, because then it's not only that, but it's that coupled with like the ego of the person with the Polaroid
Mm.
camera, like thinking they're sickening. And it's like, please, like, try doing one of my shoots. Just try even doing like a
Seriously.
little hair of what I'm doing, and let's see what you can come up with. But I mean, no, I mean, it's great. I mean, I support all the different types of
As
photography
Tish likes
and
to say,
creatives.
you do you and I'll do me.
Yes.
Too good.
Yeah, we love to
Exactly.
say
Literally
that.
Tish's
Wait,
motto.
we don't have time for any more?
Are there any more?
Yeah, I thought there was a couple good ones.
Good. Dig in.
Let's
Let's
see.
go.
I wanted to know this. Who's the most down to earth celebrity you've worked with?
You know, Pamela Anderson might be.
Pam is so freaking
She is
sweet.
so sweet, so cool, so real.
She totally is.
Just amazing. I absolutely love her. Nicole Richie too.
Nicole is so
Just,
sweet.
like, we have the best time ever, and just makes me so happy every time I'm around her, and just feel like a real person.
She is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
she's the funniest human ever.
Ever.
So, one more. Is there a shoot or a celebrity moment you wish you could redo, and why?
Yes, there are definitely some of those. I look back on my work, and I mean, you always do the best you can for that time.
Right.
But then when I look back, every time I'll be like, dang, I should have changed the hair on that, or we should have like done this blue instead of green, or we should have, I don't know. It always happens to me where I'm looking back on different shoots, and there's little things that I'm like, I could have done that different, and it would have, but back then it was like perfect for then. And
Totally.
it looked great and amazing. But I don't know. I guess with time, but you also don't know what you don't know until later on.
Exactly.
So
it's
kind of
all
one of those.
evolving and always.
Yeah. But I would
So-
love to go back and just get all of those pics together if I could.
I feel that.
Yeah.
We have a Dear MT if you want to do that.
Okay, we'll do a Dear MT.
Do you know about Dear MT?
No, what's Dear MT?
Dear MT is where the stoners call in and ask
Oh.
me for advice.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really cute. But we always have our guests chime in if they
Yeah.
have advice for the stoners.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So this one's just a message that they sent. So I'll just read it for us. This is from Ash Wheeler. Hey, Tish and Brandi, you guys have truly gotten me through so much, and I love tuning in. I cannot wait for the new season. I was wondering if you could discuss friendship breakups and building confidence as the type of friend you want to be afterwards. I don't know if you'll see this, but I thought it was worth a shot.
Oh, that's
We saw.
We definitely
saw
it.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago too. Friendship breakups, like, they're rough.
Ooh, yeah.
And as you get older, like, they're kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
I think like kind of around in your 30s, and I think that's when
I think
a
it's
lot
when
of
people start growing apart.
and we
You
talked
know?
about it with another guest, like whether it's when you're going to different colleges, like if you're coming out of high school and going to different colleges,
Yeah, or like somebody gets married.
or somebody
then
Yeah.
gets
starts a
married,
family.
and
That's
once
so
you start a
true.
family, that you do grow apart because you. Like I just said, you're always evolving and changing, and I think especially in your 30s is when sometimes it's hard to keep the same friendships alive because you do move in so many different directions.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think about that sometimes where I'm like, do you notice, like, I don't know if other people have this, but I'll be really close with someone, and then I never even like pictured that there'd be a day where it like stopped.
Totally.
But nothing negative ever happened between us.
Yeah.
But we'd be hanging out all the time, and then like all of a sudden there was like a day where that was probably like the last time we hung out.
Mm.
Not
Yeah.
knowing that like you wouldn't really see them again for a really long time after that.
Mhm.
And it just kind
Totally.
of like drifts on different people at different times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I knew that was the last day I
I
was going to be
know.
hanging out with you, like for a long time or something,
know.
to make it more
Yeah.
special, or to kind of. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just, you look back and you're like, we used to hang out all the time. Like, what happened?
I
And there was like
know.
a day it
Totally.
ended. And
Yeah, it is. It's tough. I think for me, it's like when you're younger, like you want to have as many friends as possible, right? It's like I have 100 friends, like whatever. And as you get older, I feel like it's more about like quality over quantity.
yeah,
So I feel like for me, losing friendships is hard, but it makes me like want to be a better friend to the ones I still have.
yeah.
So I think like she asks about like the confidence of being the type of friend you want to be afterwards. I feel like for me, it's just focusing on like how can I be the best friend I can to, my close circle, right? It's
Totally.
like I have like 4 girlfriends that are like my close circle.
yeah.
And also, I think for me, the best friendships are the ones where if you do go 4 months without seeing them or talking to them, and then you see them, it's like you pick right back up where you left off.
That's true.
And I feel like across the board, like those are the best friendships.
For sure.
So I feel like if you can be that kind of friend, and those types of people will gravitate towards you, like as an adult and having friendships, like that's kind of the goal, right?
Agreed.
Is like, yeah, maybe I don't see you for a year, but then when I see you, like we pick right back up.
Yeah, that is the best.
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so fun.
So fun.
You guys are so cute.
Thanks, bitch, for coming on.
Vijat's studio. That was the main reason we really wanted to talk about the studio.
Yeah. So, like, tell the stoners and anybody listening or watching if they want to book your studio.
I would love for any of you stoners to come down to the studio.
Tell them
You
all
can
about it.
smoke the house down at the studio. Just mention keyword Tish.
That's
right.
But yeah, it's the Powder Room Studio LA. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Wow.
We have a website that's also thepowderroomstudiola.com. We've done a bunch of cool celebrity shoots, just a name drop. We had Cardi B down there. MC was down there. Paris Hilton, Carol G, Adam Lambert. So if you ever have any kind of like production, project, film, photo, stills, motion, you're all welcome. It's a very like surreal Barbies inspired 90s kind of aesthetic. A lot of pink, a lot of blue, very Powder Room. Come on down.
You can do family shoots there.
You can do family shoots
We did
as
a
well.
family shoot there.
We brought in all the dogs.
We did.
Yes.
That was recent.
That's
Yes, we
incredible.
did a family shoot. Actually, you and I did a photo for that.
We
have
did
to put
do
that
a photo
up.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll put that up.
Yeah, we will. It was fun.
And then a second book coming soon.
Second book coming soon. I'm just like kind of in the works of it all right now. So probably like at least like a year or so. But yeah, I am super excited about it. I've got a lot of good stuff so far. So
Amazing.
it's going to be great.
So great. Thanks for
Yes.
coming,
Thanks for
bitch.
Oh,
coming,
thank you for
bitch.
having me. It's my honor to be here with you guys. You are both everything.
So
Well,
much
we love having
fun.
you.
Yeah.
Love.
And you know we have to hassle the stoners before we go.
Stoners, you got. we have to get onto the stoners about sending in their questions for DMT and for
Yep.
Tea Time with Tish.
Oh,
Yep.
yep.
So
Tea time with Tish.
Tea Time with Tish.
Love.
Spill the tea with Tish. Bring
Yes.
it on.
Yeah. So send your questions. It can be messages, videos, audio messages, whatever you want to send in to sorrywe'recyrus@gmail.com. And then also plug Truly Tish. I feel like you didn't do that last week.
Okay, so guys, we have the new segment. Well, it's not a new segment.
Series.
It's actually a new series called Truly Tish that we're doing to just supplement the podcast and give you guys more content. And it's everything from high design to like fashion, looks for less. But we have Tea Time with Tish, which so we need you guys to call in and either spill some tea or spill some tea and ask for some advice. But to keep that going, I need you guys to either like send us a video or send us an email. And we'll keep that going because I love it and it's so much fun. It's been so much fun so far. And we have so many fun high design things coming up.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
All
We've
right.
done some really good places that you haven't even seen. They're
Can't wait.
so good. So anyway, keep them coming.
Yeah. Yep. All right. See y'all next week.
Love you, stoners.
Loves it.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.